big broadcast here. You've been doing a lot lately. You're a singer-songwriter. You've got a new release, it seems like, every month. First of all, before we get going, how do people find you online and participate with you and everything else?
Yeah, I'm available on all social media platforms. If you go to Facebook, you can look for Spence Reed Music, and I'm also on YouTube and Instagram. If you look for Spence Reed Official, I'll definitely pop up. The easiest way to get in contact with me, though, is through my website at spencereed.com. You can sign up for the email newsletter, and you get updates as regularly as every week.
Fantastic, fantastic. We've got Spencer Reed with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast, coast to coast, Boulder to Boulder on TuneIn, iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. And he is a singer-songwriter. He's been doing a lot of cool things lately. And Spencer, what got you started in the music business?
This is a good question. When I was in middle school, I used to spend a lot of time with my youth pastor at my church, and he was the guitarist in the church band, and I figured if I want to keep hanging out with this guy, I should probably learn how to play an instrument. So I picked up the guitar, and I started singing, and one thing led to another, and now I'm here today in Nashville trying to make a thing out of it.
Fantastic. Spencer Reed with us today. He joins us live here in our program, coast to coast, Boulder to Boulder on TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. Also, find us at kjagradio.com. So, tell me a little bit about the music scene where you're from.
Yeah, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and they do have a blossoming music scene there. In fact, I was in a band for a lot of my time that I was up there for probably 4 or 5 years. I was gigging out. We went on a couple of small tours in the northeastern states, but really the music scene in Cleveland is great. The move to Nashville was difficult, but the reality is that the resources available to musicians in Nashville is just so much greater than they are in Cleveland. And obviously Cleveland always holds a significant piece of my heart. I'm very happy to be in Nashville right now. We're working on some cool things, some new releases this fall, as you mentioned earlier. And I actually just released my first Christmas song that I've ever released.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about your Christmas music that you put out there.
Yeah, so the song's called Christmas Eve. I wrote it with a girl here in Nashville. Her name's Keenan Peterson. She's a great writer. We wrote the song as kind of a Christmas Eve lullaby. You hear a bunch of Christmas songs on the radio this time of year, but
yes,
not very many of them are written in a lullaby format, if that makes sense. So we kind of set out to just write one that's more of a lullaby-sounding song, and it came out pretty great, and I really think people are going to respond well to it.
We've got Spencer Reed with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast. So what's been some critiques and different things that you've gotten on your music over the years?
Well, I think since I moved to Nashville, Nashville's obviously a country-dominant music scene, and a lot of my music rides the line between modern country and what would be like an indie alternative acoustic. So I think some of the critiques that I've received is that it's not full 100% country, which I'm okay with that. It just spans a couple more genres, and I think it has more of a niche interest group associated with it. So I think it's something that people are going to have to get used to whenever they listen to it. It's not going to be the typical country that they're used to hearing.
Now, if people want to find you online, how do they do that exactly?
So I'm available on all social media. You can look for Spence Reed on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also my website is spencereed.com, and you can just go there, and that's kind of a hub for everything that we got going on right now. We got Spotify links, we have Apple links to the music there, so if you go there, it'll point you in the right direction.
Fantastic. So how's the social media been going for you? Because I know you've got a lot of fans on Facebook and Twitter and all these different places.
I do. It's funny. I never really understood the importance of social media until I really started diving deeper into the music scene. But I've had a great response from people ever since I started releasing music, and I've been lucky enough to have them like it enough so they want to follow me. I think since I moved to Nashville, my Instagram following has quadrupled, and my Facebook following, it's even more than that. So it's just great having such easily interacting features like social media nowadays, where I can interact directly with the fans, and I can get new content and new music out to them as efficiently as possible.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, we've got, when we said we were going to have you on the broadcast, we got a lot of people who got a hold of us, and they said that they love this one song by you, "Just a Memory." Can you give us any information on this?
Yeah, that song, it's really started taking off recently. I wrote it with a girl named Kerrigan Berry here in Nashville, and we wrote it about, there's one night in a lot of songwriters' lives that they always go back to and draw inspiration from.
Okay.
And I know I have this night. I know Kerrigan has this night in the back of her mind, and really, I've tried to write a song about that night hundreds of times, and it's just never come out sounding right. So we sat down with Kerrigan, and this is my most recent attempt of trying to explain this night. And I think this is by far the best it's ever come out before. Kerrigan is a fantastic writer.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're gonna.
That's why it's called Just a Memory.
We're gonna play this track here in just a few moments. We're gonna put you on hold, and we'll be back with you after the song's over with. I appreciate it, my friend.
Yeah, when we used to go out, everybody else around, they would be the background. And all I'd ever see is you, and baby, looking back now, I think I'm feeling what I always knew. Always said we were a flight risk, even flying high, babe, I knew we should have seen this through. Now honey, I ain't gonna lie, the only time it feels right is when you look at me the way you do. With your eyes like lightning, just a minute after midnight, shining, stars aligning. We weren't even trying, we were sitting in the backseat, kicking up your bare feet, leaning in close to me. I keep looking but I can't see why forever can't be more than just a memory. Tell me why we can't be more than just a memory. Baby, no, we can't be more than just a memory. And now I'm feeling jaded. Is everything that we've become, is everything we hated. Even back when we were born to run, I knew I couldn't chase it. You were a bullet in a loaded gun. Got your foot up on the gas, pedal to the floor, going 90 in a 45. I swear to God I saw my life flash before my eyes, but I never felt more alive than looking at your eyes like lightning. Just a minute after midnight, shining, stars aligning. We weren't even trying, we were sitting in the backseat, kicking up your bare feet, leaning in close to me. I keep looking but I can't see why forever can't be more than just a memory. Tell me why we can't be more than just a memory. Baby, no, we can't be more than just a memory. Bye-bye to Miss American Pie, free bird, a sweet child of mine. There was nothing like you and I. and the seasons change. Tides move and sunsets fade, letting what might have been slip away. The song sounded better yesterday, when I was looking at your eyes like lightning. Just a minute after midnight shining, stars aligning. We weren't even trying. We were sitting in the backseat, kicking up your bare feet, leaning in close to me. I keep looking but I can't see why forever can't be more than just a memory. Tell me why we can't be more than just a memory. Baby, no, we can't be more than just a memory.
Amazing song, amazing track. We have got Spence Reed with us today here on the telephone. He is fantastic. That is a heck of a tune, my friend. Tell us a little bit about some other things that you've been working on here fairly recently. You mentioned you've been doing some Christmas music and some other things.
Yeah, I appreciate your compliment, by the way. I just released the first Christmas song I've ever even written. It's called Christmas Eve. It came out on the 23rd of November. It's written as a lullaby-style song. I think it's going to resonate pretty well with a lot of people. And we've been releasing a couple acoustic songs throughout the course of this fall, and it's all leading up to a full production release that we're planning for the beginning of 2019, and we're going to be going to radio with that, and we're pretty excited about everything that's going on. It's starting to gain some momentum here.
Well, good stuff, my friend. Before we let you go, how do we get a hold of you online and pick up your music and everything else?
Right, so you can find me at my website, spencereed.com. Really, that's the hub for all of my social media links, all of the online music streaming platforms that you'll be able to find me on, your Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, all of those. If you want to look at me through social media, my Instagram and YouTube is under Spence Reed Official, and my Facebook, I could be found at Spence Reed Music.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on our broadcast, and have yourself a wonderful day, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate you, James. Thank you.
Appreciate it. There goes Spence Reed.